Hiya guys, this is Scott for the MXQproject.com, and in today's video we're going to be taking another look at the Beelink GT1. Actually, you know something, I fancy a change. Let's do something a little bit different, yeah?
Shut up and sit down.
This is the T95Z PLUS box. It's an Amlogic S912 processor box, guys. This is one of my favourite boxes of all time. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's not even as beefy as the others, like the GT1 and the MeCool M8S Pro, but it does pack a few tricks up its sleeve. So let's get unboxing, guys, and let's see what we have here. Nice packaging, really. Looks a little bit cheap and feels a little bit cheaper than the GT1, but it's still nice. I really like the gold text on there. So here we have the T95Z itself. Just get that out. And it's got this really cool hexagonal shape that I really like. And it's kind of got this honeycomb pattern at the top. It's very Doctor Who, I think. Kind of like something out the TARDIS. Got two USB ports there as well, guys. A power jack, an optical in, or optical out audio port. HDMI port as standard. Now on the front here, this you can't see this right now, but when it's plugged in, it actually it lights up. It has a little LED screen on the front, and it'll tell you the time. It tells you what you're connected to, whether it be Wi-Fi or Ethernet. And it has this kind of bezel right around the box, and that's really cool. And I'll maybe show you a bit later. That actually glows various colours while the box is powered up. And the remote, I think, can actually change that as well, so it's customizable, the LED lights. Let's just have a quick look at the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure by now you know what to expect. Standard remote here, very similar to the MeCool M8S remote. I believe this actually controls the LED and stuff as well. It's also it also has an air mouse function. I've not tested it yet, so we're not sure if it's going to be any good or not, but it does have a mouse function. Standard AAA batteries as well. Standard power lead here. They've actually sent us the right type this time, because last time with the GT1 and stuff, GearBest sent us the European plugs, so we have to use an adapter, but they've sent us the UK ones, and there's a standard HDMI cable. And of course, we've got the usual manual that, again, leaves a lot to be desired. Doesn't really help much at all, but you've got it in there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing you what this box can do, guys, so let's get started. So welcome back, guys. Here we are at the T95Z PLUS stock launcher. It's a standard launcher that you'll have come to expect on boxes such as this. It has some preset shortcuts as per the norm. It also has a large icon for something called KD Player. Now what this actually is, when I launched it for the first time, is just a custom Kodi fork of Kodi 17.0 Krypton. I'm not exactly sure what it did. I don't know if it was just a clean build of Kodi or whether it was it came with pre-installed add-ons or anything like that, because when I did try to launch it, it crashed. And I don't mean that the program just crashed, the app just crashed, I mean it crashed the entire box, which needed a hard reset afterwards. So what I did was I went ahead and I just uninstalled that custom Kodi app, and I reinstalled a regular official Kodi app. Then I noticed that if I clicked on this again, once I uninstalled the custom Kodi, it does actually launch the normal Kodi for me as well. So we've got two icons now for Kodi. So let's take a look at what this box is running. So if we head into the settings and about section, we can see that it's running Android 7.1.1, which is of course Nougat, or Nougat, however you pronounce it. There we are, N for Nougat. So after looking at that, let's take a look at the M22 Benchmark. I took the liberty of putting it through the benchmark earlier on. I'm not going to waste time doing it live on video. And it scored a fairly low 39,991 on Antutu. Now, that may seem low, because it is, compared to, say, some of the top ones here, scoring well into the over 100,000. on the M22 if we just compare it with the One Plus. Yeah, there's quite a big difference in score there, but don't let this put you off at all, because yeah, it's scored low, but this box, it really is a beefy box, and yeah, compared to high-end devices like high-end phones and tablets, it is going to score low, but there is still plenty you can do with this box, so don't let the M22 score put you off, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to launch into Kodi, and let's take a look at how this runs. I've got high expectations. Yeah, as we can see, it's running exactly as you'd expect it to. Let's have a look in the system information to see what things are doing. And yeah, if we look down here towards the bottom, we can see the system CPU usage. It's barely putting a dent in it, really. There's kind of less than a quarter, I would say, going on. And the RAM, it looks quite high. It's saying it's using 910, but we have to remember this is Android, so there are a lot of background processes going on as well behind the scenes. So this isn't just Kodi. This is everything running at the moment. So yeah, we've still got half the RAM left while running these processes on Kodi, and there's plenty of CPU usage to stretch out there. And remember, this is a quad-core device, so it's a very powerful processor. So if we come out of here now. Okay guys, so next up I've loaded up a 4K video on YouTube, just so I can kind of test out the video playback quality and the YouTube app as well, just to show you. So let's go ahead and click play. This obviously won't be properly represented in the final video, as my capture box can only capture in 1080, but let's see how we get on. So everything's playing fine, it's really vivid and nice, there's a hell of a lot of detail here, especially on my subpar Wi-Fi that I've got at the moment. Yeah, this is handling 4K really, really well, and I'm really impressed with it. So let's move on to the next part, guys. Just a quick point out as well, guys, before I forget, that this does actually have an app on it as well for wireless updates, so over-the-air OTA updates. At the moment, as I'll show you, there's nothing. It will say that I'm running the latest version, I'm all up to date and things like that. See, your system is currently up to date. A lot of these boxes come preloaded with a wireless update app to receive OTA updates, but very few of them actually have updates come through. And as of yet, I've not had any come through. So I'm either on the very latest, or like some companies like Beelink, they actually release their updates online as flashable zip files and as image files that you can burn onto the box with the Amlogic USB burning tool, which we also have a few tutorials for as well, so if you want to go check them out, that'd be great, the USB burning tool tutorials to burn new firmware. But yeah, so whether or not this is going to actually have any updates at any point in the near future, I don't know, but it is there. Okay guys, from gaming now, I've loaded up Minecraft Pocket Edition for this one. We normally test things like Asphalt 8, Modern Combat 5 and things like that, but I wanted to change things up a bit for this video, try some different titles on it and see what this box can do. So yeah, I've booted up Minecraft Pocket Edition here. I'll just show you the settings I'm playing on currently. I've got the render distance down a bit because that can hinder the performance sometimes, and I can live with a shorter render distance on a game like Minecraft. So that's not too bad. I also had to disable, well, it wasn't enabled to begin with. I tried it with this on with the anti-aliasing, and it did slow things down quite a bit, and I was getting quite a low frame rate, which I wasn't particularly comfortable with. You guys might be, but I'm a bit of a stickler for frame rate. GUI scale, obviously, that's just a user interface scale. It's not going to affect us too much. Field of view, I've got quite high, which is nice, which means it's rendering more around us. I've also got fancy graphics, beautiful skies, and bobbing, etc. enabled. So yeah, this is just to give you a bit of an idea of how this is going to perform with these on, and I think that it performs really well. I could sit and play this for a while if I was so inclined. I'm not a massive Minecraft fan, but if I wanted to, I can play this comfortably. So enough of that, let's just come out of here and I'll show you how it runs. I created a world yesterday, so yeah, loaded straight in. Everything's loading quite nicely. Obviously, again, I've got the render distance down, but that's down to personal preference. See, flying about like nobody's business, absolutely fine. Place and destroy blocks. tiny little bit of lag I've noticed. I'm not sure if that's the box or whether it's the app itself, but yeah, this is very, very playable. I'm very impressed and very pleased with this. It'll improve performance more if you turn things off like fancy graphics. In fact, I might just do that now just to see. So if we were to turn these off, no, off. Bobbin's fine. Come back here. Yeah, it's not noticeably different at all. In fact, I don't think it is any different. So there you go. Might as well play with fancy graphics settings and things on, because it makes absolutely difference. No difference even. So yeah, runs really well. Really pleased actually. I'm going to test this on a few of the other boxes as well, probably, because I've not tested this one in any other videos before. So we'll see how we get on with them in the future. But yeah, I'm really impressed. So let's move on to the next game, guys, which is going to be Dead Trigger 2. Okay guys, here we are in Real Racing 3. As you can see, runs absolutely fine. No issues whatsoever, and it's quite an intensive game really, so I'm quite impressed by this. The only thing that's bugging me is the controls, because I'm using a wired Xbox 360 controller, and by all accounts this game's supposed to support this, but for some reason here it doesn't. There's no option for me to select it. I can control the menus and things with the 360 controller, but when it comes to actually racing, the only buttons that work are the pause buttons and the change view buttons. It won't let me steer, it won't let me brake, it won't let me do any of that. I've come in here to change the control profiles. I've tried changing it to manual, accelerate, etc. If we do that now and just resume, the whole thing just stops. So there's either something weird going on with my controller or the app, I'm not sure. But in terms of gameplay, if you can sort this out, maybe you've got a different gamepad or an official gamepad, this will work absolutely fine for you. So let's move on to the next things. I'm going to show you some emulation. We're going to start off with some Dreamcast emulation, which is exciting, so see you in a moment. Okay guys, so here I am playing Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast Emulator, or Raycast, not sure how you pronounce that. But as you can see, it runs great. I'm so pleased and thrilled with how this is running. I couldn't even get this to launch anything at all on the Beelink GT1 or the M22 M8S Pro. I don't know if that was human error or to do with the hardware or whatever, but on this T95Z Plus, it just runs absolutely beautifully. The audio is great. There's very much in the way of, very little in the way of frame rate issues, I should add as well. The only problem here is that I'm just terrible at this game. But yeah, there's a few graphical glitches, like you can see both with this ramp and some of the signs and some popping with the textures and stuff. But you know, overall it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm really pleased and impressed that this box is able to emulate the Dreamcast to this level. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have lots of fun with this later on. Next up, we're going to be testing the Psp Emulator, and I'm going to be playing some Wipeout Pure. Okay guys, so here we are on Wipeout Pure for the Psp Emulator, and I'm again really impressed with this box, how this is handling this. I played this game on the M22 M8S Pro and the Beelink GT1 Ultimate, and it worked okay. There was a lot of lag in it though, but on this there's just so much more considerable improvement. I don't even know how that's possible. They're both running the same CPU. This has actually got less RAM than those other boxes. Overall, the improvement on this is just a big step up. I've not even had to tweak any settings. I got the GT1 and the M22 to run this reasonably well by tweaking a lot of settings and a lot of the video settings and playing around with those. I've not had to do anything on this, and it just seems to be running really smoothly. There's very little in the way of frame rate drop. Overall, it's a very smooth experience, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm not sure how other games run. I haven't had time to download and test anymore. Yeah, judging by this, it's going to run some games really well for you guys, and just another reason why I like this box so much more than the others. It really is one of my favourite boxes. So yeah, next up we're going to show you some N64 and PS1 emulation, and just give an overall roundup of the review, and yeah, so we'll see you in the next part. Right guys, coming up towards the end of the video now, so let's just recap what this box is and what exactly it can do. It is of course the almighty T95Z PLUS box from GearBest. It's rocking an Amlogic S912 octa-core processor, so that's getting you up to 2 GHz of speed. You've also got 2 GB of DDR3 memory, you've also got 16 GB of eMMC flash memory, and you've also got the microSD card slot. The box itself, it has dual band Wi-Fi, both 2.4G and 5G. It's got 2 USB 2.0 ports. It also has the IR remote that you've seen that has the air mouse function. I honestly think this is the best box that I've ever used. I know it's not as beefy compared to the Beelink GT1 and the MeCool M8S Pro. I know I keep mentioning those a lot. So spec wise, it's slightly under them two. Strangely, I find that it outperformed them both in terms of the games that we ran, in terms of the graphics settings, and the performance settings were set to higher than on the others. Emulation's better, especially N64. This is the best N64 emulation I've seen on one of these TV box devices, because it's normally quite poor. And PSP as well. GT1, it ran okay. A lot of issues though, ran significantly better on the T95Z Plus. Same with Dreamcast. I couldn't even get the Dreamcast emulator to open, let alone launch a ROM on the GT1. I don't know if that was a hardware failure or whether it was down to some human error on my part in the way that I set things up. But I ran the Dreamcast games on this box and it ran absolutely beautifully, as you've already seen. I cannot recommend this box anymore, guys. So on that, there's not much more else I can say. If you were to buy this box, it's very affordable and it's so worth the price. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting it, just get it. You won't be disappointed, I promise you that. So that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did like it, don't forget to give me a like. If you didn't like it, don't forget to give me a dislike. That's absolutely fine as well. I'm not going to hold any grudges here. Also, let us know in the comments what you thought of the video. If you've got any suggestions for future videos, if you know of any hardware you'd like us to review in the future, or any tutorials that we might be able to put out there to help you guys with any problems you're having, or if you want to learn how to do something, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And if you can, share the video for us, that'd be great. Sharing is caring after all. Also, you can find us on the Facebook group, so come ahead and click join on the Facebook group. The link's going to be in the description. You can come over to the website, mxqproject.com, and find out what your hardware can actually do. And also, you can follow us now on Twitter, at mxqproject. Also, at the time of recording this, we've got the competition going on. We're giving away a TX2 box. So if you find the video on our channel, all the T's and C's and everything and details are on there. So yeah, this brings us definitely to the end of the video now, guys. Thanks for coming along with me. Thanks for listening to me rabbit on. I will see you in the next video.